this is Amy. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. Today I am going to show you how I have found lettering on rocks to be the easiest. I'm still kind of new at putting words and such on rocks. I've been painting rocks for off and on for a long time, but I just struggle with the handwriting part. And I know by watching videos that seems to be a very popular problem for a lot of people. So I thought, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little tutorial on how I find it to be the easiest to actually do it. And we'll see, because this, is probably the second time I've done it this way. So bear with me. Again, I am new at this, so hopefully it helps you if you're new at doing it as well. I tried doing the transfer paper. I actually have some in white and some in black. Tried that, and I just couldn't seem to get it to show through well enough for me to be able to see it, to write on it, and actually get it to work for me. So I then have these, they're charcoal pencils. Have them in white, and then I have in black. So with this stone, I've painted it black and then did a top covering of 14 karat gold. So I figure white will probably still at this point be the best. If you have a lighter color rock, then obviously the black would do well. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my paper. I've printed out the word I want to put on the rock. And I am going to just take my pencil and go, rub it a lot. I want it to cover well so that it transfers well. But I'm just putting the white charcoal on the back side of my paper. Now I know too, a lot of times if you keep practicing your handwriting, you'll eventually get it to where you won't even need to use this type of a technique. You'll just be able to nicely write it on. And then I was doing that a while back, was getting pretty good at it, and then I stopped practicing. So I feel like I'm kind of right at the beginning again. So here we go. We're back at having to do it like this. So I just want to make sure I get it covered really well so that when I'm taking my pen or pencil, whatever I'm using, that it'll actually show up, at least well enough for me to see. Obviously as a guideline. It doesn't have to be perfect like it would be if you had finished painting it. Alright, so I think I got it covered pretty well. I already have my painter's tape, and I've decided that I want to use it going this direction on the stone. Don't need to be perfect with the lineup because I probably will be adding in another video some flowers or leaves or such around it. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. If you need it to be perfect though, just keep in mind, once you draw it on like this, you can just wipe it off and do it again. So it's not something that at this point you're stuck with. Well, even once you paint it on, you're not really stuck with it because you can just paint over it. So I'm going to use this pencil. Let's see what it just has a nice little point to it. So I figure that would be best for getting my lines to show. Just putting some pressure down, and basically again it's just going over the lines. And I just, like I said, maybe go over them a couple times or back and forth on them to make sure that you're getting the coverage. And I'm older, so eyesight can be a major factor for me in being able to see it. If you have younger eyeballs, it may not be as difficult. So a lighter line might work for you. But with this, it wipes right off. So if you get it on heavily, it's not something you're stuck with. Again, I'm just going over it, making sure. Of course, I'm going outside the line some, so that's probably not good, but I get the gist of where I need to be writing. That's the important part. Alright, I think if it's going to work, it's good enough now. Alright, and it did. It showed up nicely. Can you see that? Oh, I'm very happy with it. Alright, so what I'm going to use is a Posca pen. I'm going to shake it up and hopefully, and I'm still learning my pressure too, because I found like I was really pressing hard on them to begin with and not liking them so much. And then somebody in one of their tutorials said, hey, don't press real heavily on the rock because that will cause the splattering. And that's what I was finding, is that it was splattering, but I was really pressing hard for some reason. Thinking that that would make it look better. I don't know. Who knows? I'm going from right to left because I'm left-handed. And if you're familiar with left-handers, we have a tendency to smudge our writing. So in order to prevent that, I am just going the opposite direction. I might want to curl these up a little bit more. And you can see on here, you know, you might get a little roughness, but it's really not bad. And you can, if you feel like it's bothersome to you, that the edges are a little frayed, you can either try to go back over them a little bit to straighten them out, or maybe even do some touch-up paint around it. But I'm finding that I'm liking these pens a lot better now that I figured out that I don't need to put as much pressure. Because when you're painting on rocks, when you don't always have a real smooth surface, and that's what I was finding. I'm like, goodness, I don't like this. Anyhow, there you go. Easy peasy, and you're ready to let it dry and then continue on. If you want to put some kind of design around it, you can. If you want it just to be plain and simple, leave it as it is. Alright, I hope that helped. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get notified when I post something new. If you like this video, if it helped you, give me a big thumbs up. Hit that share button below the video. Once you're done viewing, share this in your social network with all your friends and family. I would appreciate it. Until the next video, you have a good one.